Hello, Happy New Year, and a warm welcome back to the WenDirkCast. With me, Jimbo, and look who's in here with me as well, Calvinator. As always, we're going to be discussing the latest MFL updates, transfers, developments, and so much more that has gone on over the last week or so. One important note before we kick off this episode: none of what we chat about is financial advice. Do your own scouting or hire a director of Metaverse Football. There was no pod last week. For the first time in our entire history, I was like, you know what? All the streaming and all the other pods did 121 weeks in a row. I thought, you know what? Have a week off, and it felt great. It felt really weird, but great. But we're 2026. It's a new year. To kick off the new year with a bang. First episode back. Look who's back with his slick, sexy hair and his little cheesy smile, Mr. Calvinator.
Yes.
How are you doing, my man? It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm doing great. So, of course, the past weeks and months, past 2 months have all been about the baby and taking care of her, but slowly getting, a bit more time here and there to do more MFL things again. Apart from the bare minimum of setting some lineups and signing guys. So also a couple tweets again, trying to reorganize agency a little bit. Trying some things out, having fun with it.
Yeah.
And it's also good to be here on the show and share my opinions and hopefully some wisdom, hopefully some good takes. But it's good to be back. Yeah.
Good to have you back. It's going to be a fun one because we're doing an MFL in 2026. So we're going to say our predictions for the year, our resolutions when it comes to how we play MFL, but we're going to look back on our predictions, resolutions from last year, and basically, have our takes on did we meet those? Did MFL meet those? Did the channel meet those predictions and resolutions? And were we completely wrong with some of them? Which there's a couple of them, the predictions, which were a bit outlandish, and they're quite funny to look back on now. But before we get straight into those, a little quick updates on things. Obviously, we are recording this on the Saturday. The quarterfinals of the Holiday Heroes is now currently kicking off. Hope by the time you listen to this, it's all wrapped up, and hopefully all of my teams have won the Masters in their respective tiers. The WenDirk MFC team is in the semi-finals. If they win it, everyone who took part and gave a player in, either a Dutch or a Dirkie, will get themselves 80 cents. Come on, will get themselves a share, 4% share of $20, 20 dapper dollars. Calva, just really quickly, how was season 10 for you, if you could quickly sum that up? And how was the the Holiday Heroes event been for you, quickly?
I would say season 10 was pretty good because I had pretty much two main goals. Well, I had like three main goals, I think. One was I relegated with the Corsairs in season 9, so it was trying to get back into gold, and I succeeded. And I also I won the championship, the league. So that was the main goal. I'm back in gold with my main team, the flagship, the Corsairs.
Yeah.
Then with my Gdansk team, Solidarność Gdansk, I want to go from iron to bronze, also back in bronze. I relegated, also succeeded in that. And then the final goal was having a silver team, again a silver team. So one of the two bronze teams had to promote, but I lost in the playoffs, and the other team was fourth. But overall, in the end of the season, I was really happy how all teams were playing. I think I had like a very good, race to almost catch up with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
While I wasted so many points in the start of the season, so I'm happy with how it turned out, and that I got a league title, promotion, 2 promotions. So I would say 8 out of 10. You always want a number.
Oh,
8 out of 10.
yes, 8 out of 10. There we go.
Season.
There we go. Much better than mine.
And I'm also really enjoying the Calva Juniors, the new team.
Yes, because you've sort of like shifted it a bit, and you announced, I think, was it before the season or during the season, how you were going to sort of be doing that team and everything like that?
I first got rid of a lot of teams, also Calva Juniors, which was my first team. But because of the birth of Calva Junior, I thought I'll reinstate a refund. There's like I bought another license in Uruguay, I think, Paraguay, one of
Yeah.
those countries. And so Calva Juniors is back, and I really enjoy it because maybe later on I can talk about my strategies, or maybe I'll hear what my plan was last year for my strategy. But I'm pulling like 75, 79 reward packs, kind of 7, 8 each time, each
Okay.
reward, and then those go to the Calva Junior team, like the young ones. And then it's really fun to have all those young guys, 75, 79. And the philosophy is, out of those, a couple will eventually make it into the Corsairs flagship team. So it's really
Yeah.
fun to play them there, all the young ones, and see their development. So that's another fun project. So in general, it was a really great season for
Oh,
all
that's
those
good.
reasons. Yeah.
This how has the Holiday Heroes been treating you well at all? With getting out of the group stages or anything? Did you get the Masters in any of your teams?
Well, this is the thing, because of how occupied I was with like one, just work, and two, taking care of a baby. I couldn't
Yeah.
really, set an alarm for like 3:30, click on that button for qualifier. So I'm not in the Masters, but in the Classic, 4 out of 5 made it to the knockouts. But then 3 out of 4 lost in round 16. But of
Mhm.
course, Calva Juniors is the one who,
Yeah, the main one.
yeah, the young ones, and they are in the semi. So maybe
Very nice.
they'll win it all. Let's see. Let's see.
Well, like I said, I've got the WenDirk MFC team is in the semi-finals of Tier 5. The Worms and the Wyverns are in the quarters. So I really want to try and get at least. Obviously, I want the Wyverns to go on because they're going to get the most dollars from the Masters, but they're the team that has like 45% going out. Whereas um, my Wents and Worm team, they're near enough like 95% owned by me. And if they win, it's like $50. I'm like, if I can kind of get like semi-finals of the Wyverns and then win that with the one, but obviously you've got to win it. So, well, during this, we'll probably hear my reactions or our reactions to the quarterfinals if I get knocked out and so on and so forth. But actually, Calvert, speaking about the WenDirk MFC team, I wanted to ask you a question here live on air.
Okay, go for
And
it.
put you on the spot, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
So obviously, we created our sort of community team in the lovely location of Dordrecht.
Dordrecht. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
city. Great
Thank you
city.
for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
correct,
Yeah. Yeah.
the true Dutch pronunciation.
Yes.
With our lovely Dirk Klassen on the front of it, and we won Flint, managed by yours truly. May have hashtag stacked. And every player has to be from the Netherlands or called Dirk, and every manager who wants a player on the team gets a flat 4% rate. That's basically it's like no minimum games, flat 4% rate. I always said that I would let the community run it for season 11, but it was brought to my attention by Risu actually. That is probably fair if I offer you the opportunity to manage them for season 11. It makes sense that I created the team and I did it. And as you are a fellow Dutchman, before it then goes to the community as an offer first, would you like to take charge of WenDirk MFC in Spark for season 11?
Well, of course, I'm honored by that offer, and I definitely have time to run it, and I would do it.
Yeah! Is that a
But
yes?
I think we're gonna stack it. I'm a bit afraid of like failing, so we're just gonna stack it with good Dutch guys.
Okay, that's
And
fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
So
we're gonna
you
get out
heard
of
it.
Spark.
You heard it here first, folks. If you have really good quality players for basically Ice at this point, not Spark, Ice, that are either Dutch or called Dirk, let's get it on. Calvert, in the coming days, I will weeks, whatever, before season 11 starts, obviously, get that team over to you, and we'll do a call for help, a call for players. I know the community will be more than welcome. I mean, even Zuta in tier 5 dropped me a 76 rated CDM to whack
Oh, there
against
we
all
go.
these.
Yeah,
So,
it should
and
be. Okay.
people are going, oh, if a player goes up, and I've got a few Dutchmen that I know I could put in there. So, Calver, shake my hand. Well done. I'm not saying, what am I saying? Well done now. Well done for accepting.
Thank you.
And I look forward to you leading the WenDirk MFC team to success in season
I
11 in
feel like
Spark.
it's like Magos all over again, but then on a different level in Spark.
Well,
It's like,
this time
but
last
same
year,
pressure. I think
this
even more
time
pressure.
I think more pressure
Yeah,
as
more
well.
pressure. Yeah.
This time last year, you had just finished with Magos.
Yes, the glorious first season,
Yeah,
5th place.
because
After that became a bit less, but
I was watching it
yeah,
back,
yeah.
and I watched the episode back to look at what our resolutions were, and we kept joking about the $2,500 and all this sort of stuff, and it just brought back so many memories of that time. But right, so we've done that. We always go to dev updates. Dev updates is a bit of a weird one because what it's been recently is essentially like some small stuff in the dev updates. But I want to sort of look at the bigger picture. Really, there's some engine updates. I guess the main thing, Calvert, what happened over the last couple of weeks during people's lovely time off was that some geezer decided to infiltrate the Flow blockchain and try and take $3.9 million, which basically sent everything, you know, fucked. Basically, is what happened, and MFL was null and void for a couple of days. Um, First of all, what did you do during the time? Did you touch grass? Of course, you probably spent time with your family. Was it quite nice to not be on MFL for a couple of days?
Um, well, I think most people have this routine, like me too. Like also like, and my HQ is my homepage in Chrome, so every time it goes there and then says maintenance. Um, but yeah, it was like Christmas period, and I was busy anyway. Well, I have a lot to do,
Mm,
so it was
yeah,
good to also have a bit of a time off. But I was getting a bit impatient, and like, yeah, I would like it to be back up, and it would be good if it works again. Um, but on the other hand, I'm also, yeah, I understand they need to really take their time to do this well because it's a super complicated process. And I was like, yeah, I prefer them really being careful with this, doing it well, getting it back up, um, talking to all their like stakeholders and all parties and bridges and I don't know what kind of people were involved.
yeah,
So a bit mixed feelings, but it was, I think it's like perfectly planned in this period, right? Kind of the Christmassy period. So everyone's like, oh, maybe the universe is sending a message. Prioritize family a little bit.
yeah.
Take a chill pill sometimes.
It,
Take it easy.
it
You
maybe
know.
felt the timing of it outside of MFL, like Flo going down, having this incident, was kind of a nice time.
Mm.
But actually, in the time of MFL, with you know everyone wanting packs, I think there's probably about a 45-minute window you could have opened packs
Yeah.
in before it
Yeah.
all went to absolute carnage. Um, and obviously you got the holiday heroes. You had to keep pushing back the schedules and playoffs. So I really feel sorry for MFL and the team actually, because one, it's a holiday season. You're spending time with friends and family and loved ones. You're taking time off, and what you had all planned for weeks is now gone to absolute chaos, and you have to just sit there and wait because there's actually
Yeah.
nothing you can do because the infrastructure that you're using for the game has just decided, or not decided, to stop working, is not working whilst they're dealing with an incident. So I do have a lot of sympathy for MFL in the sense that they had to keep reorganizing things. Obviously, meant the window for the special transfer window was cut short and everything like that. Um, so I think they handled it really well. I think by putting the website in maintenance mode was probably the best thing they could
Mm.
do, rather than people going on there and like hoping to try and find their players or hoping for the window. Just straight up say the website's down. So bit of a bummer, but we got there
Yeah.
eventually, sort
Yeah.
of thing.
And also, what I read is that it was not a coincidence, this timing, right? Like this guy is like, what is like the perfect moment to pull this off is when most people are on holiday, taking time off with their family,
Yeah,
and that's when you got to do such a move, because yeah, the amount of engineers there to try to quickly fix it is way less than usual. So the defense is a bit down of the network,
yeah, and
and that's when but yeah, now everyone connected to Flow, yeah, they had a really bad Christmas, of course,
yeah,
because of that.
yeah. During this time, if you've got people going on holiday, you usually have one person that stays back in case anything goes really
Mm.
badly wrong. They can just monitor things. And it's like, oh my word, something really bad went wrong. Like I think this is probably the first. Well, since I've we played MFL, I think this is probably the biggest incident that the Flow blockchain has had. I think they're maybe a bit too quick to try and go with a rollback, which would have just been absolute carnage. And obviously didn't go back with the roll. They didn't go ahead with the
They
rollback
didn't do
after
it,
sort
no.
of like
No, no.
community sort of backlash. But I think the time frame and everything happening, they were just quite hesitant. Right, they were reluctant to spend a long time on on a fix. They wanted to get a fix out there, but actually needed a bit more investigation. But it did have some knock-on effects with obviously MFL being out and delayed reward packs, etc. But we will look back at it now, and it's just a bit of a laugh, really. No, it's not
Yeah,
for people involved,
hopefully
but
and this will make it stronger, and it's a one-off, and
yeah,
they learned their lesson.
it's that that meme of what is it? Where is it where they've got? I don't really want to explain the scenario because it's quite a not bad meme, but like the scenario is where it's like, oh, is this like your first time then? And
Oh
it's like
yeah, yeah,
and
first time.
it's that sort of
Yeah.
thing where you've got people like you and I who are like, oh, it's just an outage, like it's pretty cool, everything will come back, but it's just bummer, you've got to wait. People's first time, like, oh my god, what is going on? Like, oh my god, are my players going to disappear? Like, no, it's all fine. Just like the road that the MFL car drives along just stopped working for a bit, or like the train tracks are down. I don't know, it's something along those lines. Probably a better analogy
But
out
it's
there, but
also to spin it in a positive way. Well, one thing is that like it showed how much people want use Flow. So for Flow, I think it's good to know that. But also the amount of people who didn't seem to realize what Flow is, what a blockchain is, how NFTs work. Like from the reactions in general, it seemed like quite a lot of people already play MFL without having
then
any notion of
yeah,
blockchain, of a crypto NFT, and that's the crowd that MFL is also trying to
looking to try
target
and
a bit
grab.
more, right? To make
Yeah,
it just a regular football game. And the good thing is it's web-free gaming, and you truly own your assets, your players.
yeah,
But with Dapper wallets, and you can just connect credit cards and deposit money, like you don't have to notice anything of the blockchain. And now for the first time those people became aware, like, oh, there is such a thing as a blockchain, as Flow, which enables this whole metaverse.
mm.
And if that stops working, you have a huge problem. um, but yeah, it can happen, and it got fixed, and hopefully it will be the last
Yeah,
time.
I really like the take on it, actually, because you're right. MFL's crowd they want to appeal to are those who are, I guess, non Web3, and for people who are like, oh my god, what is all this about? Clearly shows that that audience has been attracted and are playing the game, and hopefully us as sort of Web3 users can sort of calm the people down, be like, it's fine, it's fine. Oh my buddy might disappear. No, it's fine. I was thinking maybe for those who play So Rare, like I don't know which infrastructure So Rare, either it's AWS, Cloudflare, whatever. But if those was to go down, so you couldn't access So Rare, but your money's not gone. It just it's in service, it's in maintenance. Just come back later. Um, anyway, so I'll say that's probably the main dev updates. I think the MFL team handled it pretty well with the lack of information they have. Obviously, they will communicate with Flow, but Flow is going to be so ingrained on their own security and make sure everything's fine there. Then the communications come out. So during the time
Yeah.
period and the constraint, I think MFL did a pretty good job. And I bet they're glad to be off the back of that incident, or to see the end of it. The Diamond League, obviously, we had Bob Soul Iron Pigs win Diamond for the first time. So congrats to him and his 99 rated Beckwood, smashing it in Diamond this season. Deserved winners, which is great to see. We spoke briefly off air, Calv, about the shenanigans of the Masters Tier 1, where initially it looked like all 16 teams were going to qualify to the knockout stages, which is a bit weird. So it didn't really matter where you placed. Obviously, you want to place top of your group because that's usually the better seeding. But actually, when you realise how the seeding works with an MFL, it basically goes through each group and populates a top place team in each bracket, fixture. And that meant that when the fixtures were run, obviously because the fixtures are scheduled automatically once the group stage finishes, that all the top four or the top place teams were all on the same side of the bracket and were going to be basically knocking each other out, which actually meant, oh, hang on, if you finish bottom of your group or third in your group, you were actually better off finishing third, essentially, in your group, which doesn't really incentivize a winning mentality and
No.
the etiquette and just the way we play in general, right?
Well, you missed out on lucky wheel tickets.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
the win. A lot of people were like complaining a bit about rewards, but it's also lucky wheel tickets. Each win has a lucky wheel ticket. So although
Mm.
when you have to face all the group winners, you also lose out on lucky wheel tickets. Um, but yeah, it's not really sportsmanship.
S-
You
s-
rather have first teams, and like you get the perk of them playing a weaker team, like sort of.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
and so they split a bit like how they're going to do it in the World Cup, where like the top 4 FIFA ranking teams they'll be on opposite sides of the bracket, so they only meet
Yeah.
each other in the semi-final. That's how seeding should work, and for seeding to be relevant, yeah, it's a bit. I think it was a bit of a cock up, if I'm completely honest, particularly with obviously all the money at the line. It's $1,000, whatever it is exactly. Um, but one of those, learn from them and you move on, sort of thing. Talking about the wheel, has the wheel been generous to you? Have you been doing only hero spins? I hope the answer is yes.
Pretty much yes,
Okay, nice.
because I just feel like that's way more rewarding.
Yep.
I don't know if someone did the calculations, but just looking at the odds, I feel like you can better spend free tickets on that wheel than
I
one ticket on
I,
the bet
I
one,
did one
a regular
single
one.
one, and because I had like 4 tickets, and I went, actually I did it. And I was like, no, I'm always doing 3, and I've been really really lucky actually. So when I've been doing 3, I've been letting the girlfriend spin the wheel for me, and we got back to back 1,000 MFLs, which is a 6% chance. And then after the 1,000 MFL, which I got on stream yesterday, I hit the 0.49% uncommon reward pack.
Wow,
60. Well, it
good
was a
job.
65.69, and we opened it and then gave it Win a Duck Race. So I think who was it? Is it Dan LFC? Dan LFC, I think it was, who won. It was a 24 rated. It was no, it's even better, right? It was a 24 rated, 24-year-old, 67 rated left mid, who's a 71 left winger. Bosh,
So
not
it's good,
bad, not
very good
bad.
reward.
It was a good reward.
So
Um,
you got lucky
so
in the wheel.
yeah, I'm always triple spinning, triple spin, triple spin. And on that note, Wentz and Worms are into semi-finals. They've now bagged themselves a juicy $20 off the rip. We'll take that. $20 coming my way. Well, actually, 17. But anyway, our final bit before we move into the predictions is Splash of the Week. Unfortunately, this one was pretty straightforward because I got tagged in it quite a few times. This week's Splash of the Week is from a player, the MFL player, not the MFL player, not the MFL manager. Sorry, Miladin Varga, 95 overall, being bought by Sid for $1,200, being sold by Eric Barbaric, Metasports Company, as he's known in MFL. Congrats, Sid, for being the first Splash of the Week of 2026. I guess congrats to Eric for being just shy of $1,200 better off going into 2026. He's 30 years old, left back, centre back, left wing back, Serbian, 95 overall, 99 pace, 47 shooting. We don't care about that. 91 passing, 86 dribbling, 99 defending, and 92 physical. The first thing I need to do here actually is check if this player is better at centre back than he is at left back, because that's probably what's happening here. If you have a 99 pace centre back, that's a bit overpowered, no?
That's sick. It's ridiculous almost.
What's his name again? His name is what's his name?
Miladin,
His name is
Miladin Varga.
you could remember it, Miladin Varga. Miladin. So he's 95 rated centre back as well. So he's got that utility. And if you wanted to play him in the dreaded left wing back, he drops down 1 to a 94 rated. So I think it's a pretty tasty pickup, to be fair. He is a lower mint ID as well. So he will on average retire at 37. So he should have at least 6 seasons left in him. Which if he
But
does, I think it's a
he's
tasty
31
pickup.
already. No?
He's 30. He's 30. So
But this
obviously
is also like Jimbo. If you were if you were gonna buy this guy, shouldn't you wait until rollover day is finished?
I guess the
Or do you
argument
think that's
is,
factored in the price?
I think that's factored in the price. I think between these high, stake players and these high price players, and between these two managers, that would have been factored in. Sid would have been, actually, Eric, I would rather wait, but actually, if he doesn't retire next year or doesn't throw up the symbol, you're probably going to chuck like an extra $100 on it or something like that. Or they've done some negotiating. I
Yeah,
don't
it
think
must be. It must be.
these players aren't bought off the back of no negotiations. I can assure you that. There's definitely some negotiations going on
But
involved
it's
there.
also interesting that like for lower tier guys, older players are just sold, dumped on the market, and just like you can buy a really really good team full of like veterans, full of like very old dudes
Some
right now
really,
for a
really
very
good
low
value.
price. And people just dump those guys like, yeah, they're useless, they're gonna retire. They're even if they didn't announce retirement, just like assuming they're gonna retire.
I, I,
But in the
I,
higher end market, people are still splashing like crazy on
mm,
unique talent, even though they're very old,
I,
relatively old. So it's interesting.
I've been adding players to my watch list ready for rollover day to probably try and snap them up if they don't throw up the symbol, because they'll be a really, really good value. But I just
Yeah.
don't want to take that risk right now. I don't need to take risk, so I'm not going to. But if I can sneak in there and quickly grab the player before the price gets updated or anything, then I will take that.
Yeah. Same for me. Maybe
Same.
many others. Yeah.
Right. The time is now. The time has come. MFL 2026. Before we get into our predictions and resolution 2026, it's obviously important that we go back and look at last year's Calvert, your
Predictions
first
and
resolution.
resolution
So
for
Calvert, well,
2025
I'll
was quality
go
over
from you, then come
quantity,
to me, and
with
we'll
you
discuss
saying
and
the
have our
exact
opinions before we get
phrase.
into ours. I'm going to perhaps condense down to 2 or 3 clubs. How did that look?
Yes. So it's quite ironic because of a tweet I did today where I announced with my whole agency I want to literally do that and sell all common, limited, uncommon guys in order to get a budget to just only have rare guys, because I'm just like I don't even care about those people anymore. I just want a smaller agency, have those couple development teams, and get them ready for my main teams.
Mhm.
But this is also connected to the club thing. So first, I really stuck to this. I went down from 8 to 4. I think 4 was is the lowest. But then, like with Calva Juniors, I've now added 15, and actually, to be honest, I contemplating adding a 16.
Mm.
But why is that? Is then that I reduce the amount of players, I increase the amount of clubs, and then that pretty much all my players play for all my clubs, and then maybe a couple awkward leftovers because of formations or because of some tactical choices, or
Yeah.
I don't know, some other reason like 3 strikers where I only need 2. Maybe those I loan out. But right now I have this whole chunk of players I don't care anymore, and every time it's like kind of a hassle to loan them all out and organize that. And I don't even know their names anymore. So I want to be on a name on a first name basis with all my guys. That when they walk in my office, I know like, okay, you're gonna be sent to this dev team, like some kind of baseball chief. Like you're gonna go to, I'm gonna send you to Toronto to
Yeah.
play for the, I don't know, the Cubs. I want to be like that, that I know all the guys, only rare players, get rid of that. So I want to do it again,
Yeah.
pretty much. I said it last year, I kind of succeeded, and I'm still in the process, and we're gonna do it this year even better.
I imagine also as well it's quite refreshing, kind of like gutting out all the junk, and then it's a bit like when you clean, I'm gonna clean my bedroom or clean this room I've not done for ages, and you do it. That's really good. I've got rid of all this stuff, and now you need to be disciplined to not let yourself get back into that agency state again. Because I'll just get this. I'll just get 10 limited reward packs. Oh, will you look at that? I now have all these limited. Oh, yeah. So I'd say you've achieved that, and I did notice as well that you made that tweet today, saying that you want to
Yeah, it's
condense
quite
your
quite funny.
agencies.
It's
So
the
I was like,
same.
that's quite topical.
So the same thought process is still there.
I'm gonna combine 2 of mine because they're kind of similar. One of them I've got was not a resolution, but was a desire. Don't ask why I put this. It was just to meet another MFL manager in person, and I did. I met Sir Ekaneri last year, I can say last year. A couple more than
Yeah.
once, actually, more than once. I think I met him within like the first 6 weeks of 2026 or 2025, sorry. And these two managers don't play MFL anymore, but there were two other Norwich managers playing MFL. I remember we had, after like one of the football games, we went back to Weatherspoons and we all talked about like MFL and So Rare. It was really nice, actually. And hopefully do it more. I still keep up to date with George. So Rare Canary quite a bit, which is quite nice. So, but I guess on the back of that, it was the MFL meetup and having a meetup, so we
Yeah, I
can,
was about to say like you just skipped over that part. So like,
yeah,
oh, and it's
no,
Sorare Canary.
yeah. So
Oh, there was this other thing going on.
yeah, so it was obviously with the
Yeah.
MFL meetup in Paris, which was an amazing event, right? And we got to meet so many other man. We get to meet for the first time, which was great. And the next big thing on my list is to try and get a UK one organised, which I keep saying I will, but never end up doing so because all the house stuff and winter, etc. But it will happen, folks. That's one for this year. But yeah, the MFL meet obviously happened, an amazing time, and that basically meant we had no way that we didn't achieve this goal of meeting other MFL managers in person, right?
Yeah, great. So check. You achieved it.
I
Not
achieved
it's
it.
like only what is a stat? Like, only 6% of people stick to their resolutions, something like that. So
Yeah.
it's very low. So you're one of them.
Right.
If
Your
you-
next resolution was to not continue being Mr. Balanced with tactics, because you always said that you used to use balanced quite a lot on a lot of your
yeah.
tactics, and you wanted to be a bit more unique with how you set up your teams. Calver, are you still Mr. Balanced coming into 2026?
I think well I have I have phases, and it's like always my if it goes wrong throughout the season, I might just play it safe and go back to balanced.
Mm-hmm.
But actually the team, my team that promoted back to gold, the Corsairs, I had quite a special tactic going on there, and there's like another kind of default tactic I have that's definitely not balanced, that I often use. I did do a bit more testing. I do experiment also with individual player instructions that I use a bit more. So I feel like I do that. And with the Corsairs this season at the 3-4-3, and with Duff and Big Wilbert, I was in this crazy title race. And in the end, I came up kind of on top.
Mm-hmm.
And Duff was also like, yeah, I can't make a 3-4-3 run, and you kind of did it. So then I felt kind of good, like, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
I can be better with tactics, and it worked. And also to achieve that, I kind of used actual football tactics, football logic, from what I hear on some podcasts, football or articles I read.
Yeah.
So that's also good that real
Okay.
football can work inside.
So you are very much less Mr. Balanced than you were last year, or
Yeah,
2024. Sorry, we're looking at. Yeah.
I'm definitely less Mr. Balanced. Although it's still my plan B. My go-to plan B is just fully clean slate and see how that works. Especially if you feel like your players are good anyway. With balance, they can pull it off.
Yeah.
So definitely less, yes.
Right. This was an MFL one that I had, and it was for MFL to have over $2.5 million in player sales. I can safely say that we definitely smashed that. Do you want to know, according to Alexis and his MFL assistant, what the current total player sales volume number is?
I think didn't we I want to say 4 or 5. I think almost 5 we touched. I think for sure 4, no?
So it
Was it?
currently is at
Yeah,
$4,184,900.
there we go.
So
Yeah.
we surpassed the 4 million, and we definitely achieved over 2.5 million in player sales, which is probably a big part to the lead and the net boom of May June time. But we definitely smashed through that one. Your one for you was to reach a bigger audience for WenDirk, and we had some WenDirk resolutions off the back of that, which was to have over 100 subs on YouTube, which we now have 462.
There you go.
Twitter over 1,000 followers, we have 1,322, and at least 150 followers on Spotify, which you now have 168. I think that's nearly 3.5 times the amount of followers in a year. So I think we've smashed all of.
Also, it's good pretty well so far
Yeah,
in terms of resolutions.
yeah. I
So,
think this is all looking pretty
yeah,
good.
yes.
Maybe there's a reason why all the good ones are starting first. No, but one for you actually, but off the back of it was for your
Yeah.
YouTube channel to reach a bigger audience, Football Manager and non NFT like.
Ooh.
Which maybe if you want to do, you could tie it into the MFL audience piece
Mm.
as well as your own YouTube channel. But obviously, I guess the YouTube channel's taken a back seat since
Yeah, yeah.
the
That's
addition
it's.
Calvert Jr.
It was funny with the flow being down. I was checking general, and then someone said, "Oh, you can watch some videos with Calvinator," and then someone said, "Dad is retired." I think I don't know who said it. Like, Dad is retired. Yeah, indeed, it's very dead channel. Um, but I think I had a couple videos that's, especially with the whole Football Manager not being released. That's reached bigger audience because then I could kind of
Mm.
play around that. But yeah, I'm totally not. I'm a bit out of the YouTube game right now, so a bit hard to
I mean,
judge that.
we could almost say that, on our channel, for example, we had Nep on here, we had Work the Space. Those two people are, football non NFT. I know Nep plays so rare, but you could argue that audience size, not necessarily your YouTube channel, but MFL and our channel, we've had those people on. So I think maybe we'll give that a half tick. Maybe not your YouTube channel, but
Yeah,
maybe for our channel, we've had a
yeah. I don't know
broader
if we
audience like
reach
that.
them, but somehow they. Although to be fair, I don't know. Um, the when Workspace discovered MFL,
You
I
did
think
reach
I
out to him,
commented.
no?
Yeah, I think I commented below one of his tweets, and then I had a whole conversation with him in the
Mm.
Twitter DMs to get him started. So
And
maybe I can use that here as
yeah,
like
and
using reaching.
And for Nep, I remember, I think we recently released an episode of the WenDirkCast, and someone put in the Discord channel of MFL, but Nep, you should go on the WenDirkCast. And he was like, yeah, I'm up for it. And then literally 5 minutes later, I just see at the bottom of my screen, Nep has sent you a Discord friend request. I was like, there we go, there we
Nice.
go.
Yeah.
we made it happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
right, another one from me. Time between deadlines and schedules with an MFL to be within the hour. Because my biggest grudge was that the deadlines for registration for seasons happen and then, leagues aren't generated, a couple days later and everyone goes, oh, when are leagues going to be out? Just stop the nonsense. Just let it happen quickly. Obviously, that doesn't happen now, but we do have cup fixtures in terms of knockout stages being scheduled automatically once the group stages has finished, right? So that's kind of halfway there. I can see why for leagues it wouldn't be the same because they have to make sure that there's no sort of conflict with people having the same
Yeah.
clubs and
Same
same
teams
leagues and all
or
that
team
sort of
owners.
thing. So I can see why it takes a little bit longer, but I'd love it to be sort of maybe within the same day, half a day, so people have a bit more time to prepare for things, right? Right. One of your resolutions for MFL was, or predictions was hopefully a full in-app experience, app autonomy. So you basically can play without Floaty and Discord, being able to trade players in the app, that offers in the app. That was basically
Yeah.
your thing. So we kind of got there, I think.
Yeah. I think we made huge steps, right? Yeah. You can offer. Yeah, what you said, like the trading, the making offers, also the whole messaging system, the chat, the help in the app. Also, the amount of messages you get, the kind of communication through in your inbox in MFL, that also got improved.
Mm,
There's not like a chat function that you can really have conversations in the app with other managers in your
yeah.
inbox. Maybe that would be a next step, but I think we made huge progress. Right?
I think,
It's way more
mm,
in app than
yeah,
before.
the communication with contracts, you can now buy packs on the marketplace rather than going to Floaty. You can do offers for players and clubs in the marketplace or in MFL as well. They're great steps. Maybe doing offers for packs could be the next thing. Maybe right here we can maybe do a prediction on behalf of Snake. Will there be a block button in MFL in 2026? That will be Snake's prediction or Snake's hope. Um, I would love to see some like in-app messaging as well, but I understand the reasons not to because it can just get toxic and it's, let's just stick to maybe presets or things like that. But I think the in-app experience, not having to go to external websites to do things, they've accomplished that bit. There's just a few pieces they could go to
Yeah.
to make it
And
better.
what could also be fun? Flavor alarm.
Ooh.
Flavor alarm. With with
Ooh.
a with AI and all the amazing magic it can produce. What was always fun while playing Football Manager was like this random medium published like the odds, the title odds,
Mhm.
or they said like we're like the best teams, or we're like the big names, the big transfers in your league. You could easily take the overall like we can check that like on Alexa's website or other websites,
Mm.
right? You can check the projections. What if you take those projections, connect it to some odds, put them in some quick AI thing to generate a news article, and then you can write that up, right? And then the highest overall player that was signed, you say that as like, oh, the big splash
Yeah.
in the league, or the star, the key man watch, or whatever you call it. You could add that also in the inbox for to it is complicated, but if you can automate it and connect it with some standards, like in Football Manager, I think it's also not it works the same, right? It just looks at the league, looks at the quality of the players, and
Mhm.
generates random title odds, and it's like a little thing like, oh, the, these are my title. It also gives you an indication, right? Okay,
Yeah.
apparently my team's quite weak because I'm 400-1 to win it.
Well,
But
maybe with Bastiste working for the team, maybe I know he's integrated his projections into MFL Assistant now, but could he be knocking on the door, getting his flavor alarm going?
yeah,
Come on, guys, let's
yeah,
get.
just send the predictions to your inbox, right? That's an
Yeah,
also
yeah.
more in-app, more flavor.
I think you have to be careful with projections because, like, it's just a projection. People might start getting a bit too worried about things. But I think maybe if with that acknowledgement, people would be pretty chill with it and like it. I think so.
Yeah, but it's not MFL. It's like the MFL Daily or something, or
Oh,
the
okay, yeah.
the MFL Star, or like some other random MFL Times,
Mm,
MFL Posts, right? Just some random newspapers.
yeah.
It's not MFL.
Okay, there we go. The MFL Daily coming to
MFL Daily.
a journalist near you. As we currently stand, I'm currently in extra time with the Wents and Wyverns. We've bottled a 2-0 lead to now be 2-2 in extra time, and it's probably going to go to penalty. So my heart's going to be racing for the next 5 minutes.
Fingers crossed.
Unless we concede and then it's all game over. But we have game possession in the 119th minute, folks. This is live. Fullback striker run down the wing. Juan takes a shot. It comes to nothing. Called it in the 120th minute. You guys, Calvin can
Oh,
see
live
nothing. I can
coverage.
see everything.
Flavor.
In
Flavor
it
alarm.
goes. 120th minute corner. It gets whipped in. Guess what happens? Keeper just catches it. Why are those? Oh, there's a 120th minute highlight. There's another highlight. But we've won the ball back. Oh my god, my Cam's 1-on-1. He's won it. We're in the semis. 120th
You
minute
scored?
winner.
Really? Oh, wow.
120th minute winner. 3-2. Come on.
Nice.
Oh, that was pain. The
Great.
previous two highlights were both with the other team having possession. And I've nicked the ball back on the left mid position. Oh, that feels so good. I think, just to have a look at what the rewards is, that's $80. So that's
What?
80.
Really?
Yeah,
The goal
$80.
was $80. Wow, that's a
Yeah,
very
but I think I have to give
okay.
up like half of it for rev share or something. But I don't care. In the semi-finals, baby, let's go. And I'm playing Funky Monkeys. I'm playing David's Funky Monkey, which is a 4-3-3. So I'm going to get absolutely pantsed. Anyway, right, back on course. One of my predictions was for an extra division to be added to the pyramid. We got
That's
two.
easy.
We got
That's
two.
easy.
And you quite like the Dirt League. When we asked what names were, you maybe suggested the Dirk, but you said
The
we
dirt.
did joke maybe the Dirk, and we could then sponsor it. But also, yeah, we've seen Spark and Flint be added. And I think it's quite a nice to close the pyramid on that and then have something else.
Yeah, and I keep saying it. My dream is just to have a free to play amateur level below it, and like in IRL, especially in the Netherlands, if you want to become professional, you just gotta step up your game and buy that license. But you can also play in the amateur leagues and maybe loan some low comments and their value. Like that's my kind of bigger vision dream.
Mm.
The trial clubs were not that big of a success, I think, because they canceled that, right? So maybe
Yeah,
now
they
we'll
cancelled
have
them.
close that pyramid for now. Maybe copy another period at some time, but close it and then free to play amateur pyramids below it, semi pro or whatever you call it. Hopefully, we'll see that in 2026.
Mm. Yeah, I'd love to see something like that. I think the 10 divisions in a pyramid is the right size. It feels a good number. 10 is, I can't remember which
10's
mathematician
perfect.
says. Yeah, 10's a perfect number. Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Your last little resolution for MFL, your hope, prediction, whatever, was for there to be a calendar within the app.
And also got it. Tick.
How mad is to think that we didn't actually have a calendar this time last year, where you could just see like the schedule of things. I think it came like shortly after, like January, February, but it's definitely like a go-to
Yeah.
thing now. When's training start? When's pack drop? Go on there, screenshot, big red circle, have a look at the fucking calendar, mate. It tells you. Yeah, we got it.
And now I would say for more flavor, to have it integrated on club pages or your HQ with some like coming up or tomorrow or
That was exactly what you said
something like that.
last year, by the way. You said I'd love to have it integrated, dedicated for the club. So it's for the you
Yeah,
see the
like club or
fixtures coming up.
HQ, and that you can
Yeah.
see. Although you can see kind of next fixture, right? But maybe you can say, okay, tomorrow or transfer deadline ends, or
Mm.
again, like could be doable, something little. But okay, moving on. Tick.
My resolution was to earn at least 250,000 MFL in the calendar year, and I've just added it up, and I earned roughly 440,000, I think, or over 400,000. So I know that in between 400 and 450,000. So I've hit that goal. So maybe I'll expand on that for next year. It says include at least 2 trophies, which I'm hoping that wasn't specifically for the Wyverns, because if it was, it's gone down the drain. I just need to double check. We're not going to include player trophies, but obviously the Flint team, the WenDirk MFC, won their Flint League, and my trial club last year won the cup. So I guess you could kind of count those two. My Espartalas, who I no longer own, in season 6 won the Rivals Cup. They also won the cup in season 3. They also won the cup in season 2.
So
I won plenty of
another
trophies,
tick.
just not with my main team. Yeah, not with my main team. Right. So they were all our sort of our resolutions, and we've had the WenDirk resolutions. There were some predictions we had. You asked me, Calva, which division will Wyverns end the year in? And obviously, I just been promoted to bronze. Then this was season 2. I just been promoted to bronze in season 1 from Iron, and my answer was, I want to be no lower than bronze come the end of 2025. I said, I actually did say I would like to get promoted to silver, but I reckon I come back down straight away. So technically, I've met my answer. I've met the prediction.
Yet again, another tick. So
Another
many hits.
tick.
We're so good. We're so good.
One of my predictions for you was how many clubs will Calver own this time next year? I've got your prediction. How many clubs do you own this year, Calver? All right now. Will it exclude the WenDirk one? How many do you own?
So 5.
You said 4. That's how many you said.
Close,
4. You
close.
said 4 was close.
But it is also it would have been 4 if I didn't buy Discover Juniors. It's so I was very close.
We asked, will a player be sold for $10,000 or more? That's what you asked me. I said no, but maybe I suggested 7.5K. I don't think that was hit. I think trade value you can probably hit when people have bundled them, but not
Yeah.
7.5K. So we didn't make that one. And here's a funny one, right? My question to you, Calva, was how many clubs will Make Think and Akane own by the end of 2025?
I can't.
um
Memories.
uh I don't think we even guessed this one. I don't think we even put a number next to it because we were like, we just don't know, because Akane's vision was 265 or however the maximum
Yeah, like
at
one in
clubs he
each
can.
league or something. Like
Yeah.
one in each league, right? That was
Um
his thing.
he obviously doesn't play anymore. He owns 0 players, 0 clubs. And I think Make Think has gained like 3 clubs this whole year. So maybe the
Yeah,
prediction is for
but
Trust,
also,
not Make Think.
yeah, it should have been probably trust the process and make think
Yeah.
or Ron John Fortress Agency.
Got a
Maybe.
quick prediction here then. Trust the process is on 120 clubs, Calva. How many does he end 2026 on?
I hope for his sanity, not more than 120. But okay, given the fact that there is a huge chance there will be club delegation this year, I think he might go to 200 because then he can just delegate some of those clubs. But this will be such a game changer because you can just stack clubs now, like start buying up all the clubs, like like those landlords just buying up houses because they don't have to live there anyway.
Yeah.
So with that logic, might get to 200.
200. Okay.
200, yes.
And then the final little extra quiz question I had. Can you remember what the hashtag of the episode was? Episode 71, by the way. Can you remember what the hashtag of the episode was?
Can you give a clue? Because otherwise, it would
I'm
be
gonna give a
very
clue, and I'm just gonna say Magos.
Magos.
So obviously you were the manager of Magos
Yeah.
that Diamond League season. What hashtags did we have that were related to Magos?
I think it must have been related to 2.5K, some pun.
Or yeah, or maybe steer in a bit more of a direction. It was maybe about how you performed, how the community think you performed.
Oh, was it the Hankies? Hankies
It
in,
was.
Hankies
It
out?
was. It was
Oh, Hankies
hankies in,
in,
hankies out
Hankies
for
out.
Calver.
Classic. That's a
It was the
classic.
hankies in,
Yeah.
hankies out. So that was your that was the hashtag back
Well,
then.
Hankies were in at that point, although season 2, then Hankies were firmly out. Yeah.
Right. So those are all of our reactions to last year's resolutions, predictions, a little bit of fun. We'll now move on to this year, 2026. What are we hoping for? I'm predicting for MFL in 2026. What are we hoping for our own agencies? And maybe what are some things we'd like to change about how we sort of run our agencies, like Calvin with his Mr. Balanced, or lack of, trying to get away from Mr. Balanced last season or last year, and putting quality over quantity. What are we going to do this year? I will go first with a resolution for me. I had all those trophies I won in 2025, but none of them were for the Wyverns. I just want the Wyverns to win a trophy. That's all I want. I want league or cup. I just want to win a trophy with the Wyverns, because I know then that's like that's my metric for the Wyverns. I want to win a trophy, and I want to reach silver this year. Those are my top 2 resolutions. Win a trophy with the Wyverns. How hard could it be? How hard could it be? And reach silver. I don't care if I get relegated. Just reach it, Jimbo. Just reach it. You've been in this league for 10 bloody seasons now. You're the.
But the Masters, there's no trophy, right? It would be ironic if you win this Masters now.
It would be
Yeah.
quite funny, wouldn't it? Yeah, I win the
Yeah.
Masters, no trophy.
Yeah, no trophy. Well, it's doable if it's like another 10 seasons, with some good management,
Mm,
and then if you win bronze, you have killed 2 birds with 1 stone: trophy and promotion. So
yeah.
should be possible, I think.
I'm glad that I've got your backing, Calvin.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I've got your backing, but I want to throw in a curveball. I want to throw in a curveball because James has asked, would Calva take back-to-back relegations for his Casablanca team? Regardless on if he's stacked or not, he goes down, if it means that the Wyverns won the Bronze League next season
What?
and their Contenders Cup in season 12. He's basically saying, would you take automatic relegation for my Wyverns to get promoted and win the title in bronze next season and then win the cup the following season? Because he said, I'm seeing if the friendship would would mean he takes a hit to allow his mate to have success.
Well,
Choose your answer wisely.
I would say no, because that's not how the world works. I'd like to. I'd love to help Jimbo with, loading him some players, some
Yes,
talents,
man.
but yeah, getting relegated, losing on purpose. So, Jimbo, is this how you want to win? That I sacrifice my teams for you to go up.
Maybe not.
You
No.
want to win it on your with own strength, and we can bundle our strengths, and I'll send some good guys your way maybe, and we can work together. But relegating for, yeah, that's not professional and sportsmanship, I would say.
Such a
It's like,
well
would you give
answered
up
political.
your house to Jimbo so he can be happy? Yeah, no.
Slightly different, but I see where you're trying to come from.
It's a bit similar situation. Like, well, I can host him. He can rent it sometimes, but I'm not gonna give him a house so he can be happy. That's like you. Yeah, that's a bit too generous. Such a thing as being too generous. So
Okay.
no, James, no.
No, James. Cav will not succeed or give up back-to-back relegations for me to win back-to-back trophies. Some friend, hey,
No,
some friend.
no.
So, Calva, do you have any resolutions, objectives for this year in MFL?
Well, the main one is what I said earlier on in the pod, is to have way less players and get a grip, a bit of a grip on my
Get a
agency,
grip.
and and also in view of um, retirements. So far, the Corsairs have been blessed with no yellow retirement announcements, but inevitably it will happen, right? 10 seasons down the line, most of those guys will be retired or retiring. So it's time to really set up, have some system to replace the guys who retire. And right now, my agency is so big that I can't really. It's just too much of a hassle.
Yeah.
So that is one thing, and on the other thing is like, yeah, just selling those guys will give me some budget to perform even better, invest in new talent, and develop them to replace the good guys in my top three teams. Let's say my gold and bronze teams.
Yeah.
So that's the same one as last year. More quality, less quantity,
You're
and prepare for to be more sustainable and survive the mass retirement wave.
because your bronze team being promoted should hit into. Sorry, the team that will now be bronze, right? Should now
Yeah,
be in hopefully in Bronze League 8, right?
they used to be, right?
Yeah,
They
I'm
used to be.
hoping
They
because
used to be
then we get
WenDirk,
the
so
WenDirk comes back. You know the famous WenDirk beast. Some would say the most feared and historic rivalry in the whole of
actually,
MFL
actually,
or agency rivalries.
you are a bit unlucky because another resolution is that this team is gonna replace the Corsairs as my flagship team, as my main team, because this is literally the license where I live.
Yeah,
So I will have three bronze teams, and this is the one I'm gonna prime for promotion. So it'll be fun,
oh, good.
and then you'll be fighting like James. There we go. Instead of actively helping him by relegating myself, I'm gonna actively challenge for the title,
Yeah,
battling Jimbo with
you
great
tried.
WenDirk. So it'll be amazing.
I look well. I hope that you're in it. I think you're in this was Quinny in that division as well, in that league as
Yeah,
well.
and Quinny,
He got promoted
I
too,
think
right?
no, Quinny won. He was first and I was second in that Iron League.
So I'm
So maybe
hoping that you
we're
both
both
come
back.
into bronze. I hope we both come
Yes,
into bronze league. Hey, you should do. Off that logic, you should do because it's different when you come down. I think you can get chucked the other one, but I think when you go up, it's obviously into that one. So
it should be. Yeah.
hopefully you and I, Quinny.
Yeah, we
I don't know
used to
who's getting
have
relegated,
Sorare
but
Monkey,
yeah.
Quinny, and us
Blades
in one league.
Blades isn't in there anymore. I don't think. Well, he might be. I can't remember. But yeah. Mm, okay then. Right, I've got quite a crazy. Oh, actually, no. Before I do my crazy one, we did ask the community for some of their predictions, and we're gonna, put them into here, drip them in, salt bay them in, sprinkle them in was the word I'm looking for. Sprinkle them in. Taggart literally replied back and went injuries added with a smirk face, to which everyone just went boo, boo this man. So I guess his prediction is that there's going to be injuries added to MFL. I think Matt's maybe alluded to it in the past. Could be like a couple of games or so if they were to ever go down that route. Really simple question, Calvert. Are you for or against injuries in MFL?
That's a tough one. I think actually, it might be good for, like, it's good for the game. I
Hmm.
think it's good for the game. It's more realistic. One, it forces people to have a bit more players in each team, which also is gonna soak up a bit of supply, and more players are actually gonna play, which is also good. It's gonna challenge. It's gonna make it more interesting to manage suspensions, injuries, and like cope with that. So as a challenge to manage, which will make it more interesting. That's
Hmm.
all positive. So I think for a game, you should strive to make it as realistic and challenging as possible
Yeah.
and fun. And yeah, you can get lucky where the other side has some suspensions and some injuries, and then you can also plan with that. On the other hand, yeah, how are they going to decide that? Some RNG, and then people already hate the engine, some RNG in the engine, and then you get screwed by some injuries. So I think it's gonna make the community a bit more sour and a bit more complaining.
it's
Um,
it's
so
a
that's the downside.
it's a Dirk dilemma that I'm happy we're not the ones deciding on. Put it that way. I'm happy that we're not the ones, you know, figuring out how, if they want to go down that route, how it will work, because the the depth they'll need to go down to sort of make everyone happy
Yeah,
will.
like on the other hand, with retirements, we also have that, right?
Yep.
In Futium, right? They have this. Oh, F word, F word. Sorry.
Oh, how dare you!
Uh,
Bleep it out! Bleep it out!
Bleep this.
Bleep
But there they have this
it.
fixed retirement, right? Which is just boring. You just know
Yeah.
he has 3 seasons left, and the beauty of MFL is that you have, like in real life, some guys retire at 32, some at 42,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's also kind of RNG. I mean, it's like in some metadata in the NFT, but it's also random.
Mm.
So you can also get screwed with early retirements. Like I think, yeah, Orange Fly, like he is now Diamond League champion, but he really got the short end of the stick with some retirements, and he has a huge problem now
Yeah.
to replace those guys, and that all makes it super interesting and more dynamic. So I think injuries will be fun in that way, and it's good for the market, soaking up supply, and good for the game, more fun, more challenging, more epic stories.
Mm.
So I'd say, in the grand scheme of things, yes.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Right. So my prediction was this is probably my most outlandish and bold and possibly stupid, I think, maybe, prediction. This time next year, there will be over 10,000 managers with clubs.
It's ambitious.
It's very ambitious, and let me tell you how many
Okay,
there are
okay,
right
explain.
now. So there are currently 3,167 unique managers with clubs with that own a single club, according to MFL Assistant. We have, I think, just under tripled since last year. So I'm not using that logic because I'm going more than 3. But I was like, right, if I do 5, it probably gets achieved. If I do 7.5, 7.5 is a bit of a weird number. So I thought, let's just go 10. Let's go big. Let's go bold. Let's go at least 10,000 managers who at least own one club. My bold prediction for MFL in 2026.
But I can imagine that Matt and the MFL team have a similar goal, actually.
I
And
hope
if you
so.
look at their recent staffing, how should like recent
Acquisitions. Yeah.
acquisitions, they have some marketing guys in there, and I know Matt before has told us like, they can pull some levers, just do some targeted Facebook ads, and that already can trigger huge waves of people coming in.
Mm.
And there is just a huge market for football games, right? Why are people making so many football games? Because there's a huge market for football games.
Mm-hmm.
People want to play management games. So I would say it's not too unrealistic, but it will require effort, network effects, also general kind of economy, crypto scene, some kind of positives there, and then you can kind of have some, network effect, butterfly effect, whatever, and
Well,
it can work.
before I let you go into yours, I want to quickly jump to Trust the Process, who maybe might be a big fan of my prediction because he says the World Cup boom. So he's already foreshadowing the World Cup boom, obviously in 2026 in the United States of America plus Mexico and Canada. The World Cup boom will lead to both, and 2 bold predictions: no $1 players under the age of 30. Big bold statement. Last time we had one of those was Andrew Laird going, "Sorry for your success. There will never be $1 players ever again in MFL." So Trust Process says no $1 players under the age of 30, and Flint being filled. Flint being filled's a big one because Flint is what? 6? Oh my word, 6,000? 3,000, 6,000, $6,000, isn't it?
Flint.
I can't remember how big Flint is.
No.
Time flies when you're.
But it's possible. It's like when you have those 10K people, you must fill up.
12 plus 4, yeah.
Plus with club delegation. So I think if club delegation is something that's they keep mentioning in dev updates, that is pretty close. When they release that, we can see people just buying up clubs and delegating them to also to non-crypto, crypto skeptical people, friends like, yo, dude, here, manage this club. You don't have to put any
Yo,
single
dude.
dollar in the game, right? Like all my friends who were like, I don't want to put any money in it. Well, there you go. You can manage this club right now. I bought it for $50 Flint Club. You can keep managing for eternity. I put some young guys in there who you should develop. Good luck, right? So if club delegation is there plus some marketing, boom.
Do you want to know
It's
something
very
funny?
possible. All those things are very possible.
This time last year, we were still talking about club delegation. Because you were like, when club delegation comes out, and we're like, 12 months later, and we're still not there yet.
Of course, it's tricky. But with Margos, it was possible, right? It was delegated to me, but then to auto-delegate it and that people can...
Yeah, it's a bit more to it, isn't there, with that?
I think they could technically roll it out quite fast, but they don't want to do it yet, I think, because of multiple reasons. Because it's really gonna upset the whole ecosystem also because of the reason that you can just buy up club and become a mogul owning 10, 20, 30 clubs without having to manage them. Just rent them out, kind of. That's what it is. You rent out clubs.
So yeah, I'm hoping that Trust is World Cup boom. It's part of my 10,000 unique, contributes towards that.
Would they use the World Cup as a time to market it, or will there be an event on MFL that will be so fun that it will attract people? Or in general, more people will love football
Because it's going
with the
to be
World
a
Cup.
very competitive time for games. Because I was thinking this earlier, and maybe this is me being, I'll put a slightly pessimistic hat on here, is that we saw the big boom with the influencers and net boom, lead boom from a lot of the So Rare people coming over, and I think off the back of So Rare in Europe coming to a close. That won't happen this year because of the World Cup. So we may not see that carryover that we saw with So Rare players come into the summer because I've not got a game to play apart from if you play MLS. I've not got a game to play, in the summer. Play MFL because So Rare will take up the World Cup. Maybe we see that delay. Maybe it's like August, September time, but then you're ramping up for So Rare Europe again. So maybe some of the So Rare like influencer boomy stuff we don't see much of this season. But it's going to be a very competitive space. But to put the optimistic hat back on, I'm very much looking forward to what MFL do for the World Cup because it's a huge opportunity to do something massive. Also, the Euros was a great success. However you look at it, apart from if you were a backer of the England manager, however that tool might have been. But
Well, will there be 48 national teams managed by MFL people? Will that happen?
I mean,
What do you think? Also, that we need to mint some nationalities, like
yeah,
Curacao.
mint some nationalities.
Curacao players, or that will
Haiti,
be
yeah, you got like all those. You got the clubs from
it.
there, but you're not got the players, right?
The
Yeah.
players, yeah, there will be loads of countries, quite some countries,
Um,
with
but
that. Like also Uzbekistan, for example.
part of me thinks that they will do something like that, but I'd hope it's like not just one. It's like a couple of different tiers, but like how the Masters has done. Maybe it's like tiered approach to it, um, to get more like involvement. Or if they do go down the same route as last time, it's got a slight twist to it, maybe. So it's not just a cut and paste of what it was in the Euros.
What my dream always was with the, or still is, always was. That sounds very nostalgic and as if it will never happen. Is just to release those licenses, and you can buy them and trade them. Why not? Why not have this license that you own? It's like also cool to have, Like I own the England license, and you can sell it and trade it, and that allows you to participate in those tournaments sometimes.
Mm.
It's another asset. It's something fun,
Yeah.
and maybe then for the World Cup we can have an auction to release the first ones, or some quests and right to buy, or a pack drop, like a very special pack drop, and you can have different tiers of like the major countries, smaller countries, maybe even countries that didn't qualify. All 100, 200, 196, is it 200 countries? I don't know if you're all gonna include like Taiwan or whatever, but just 200 licenses of countries.
Mm.
Could be. I'm dreaming big here.
Maybe we see like a cash prize, like Dapper Dollar prize, Dapper Dollars.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, and by the way, also the under 21 and the under 18 teams, right? So that's already 600 licenses. There you go. 600 licenses.
When internationals, if Bosco was
When
here, when
internationals,
internationals,
yes.
when internationals,
Dreaming.
when internationals. Um, right, Calva, let's hear another prediction resolution, whether it's personal or for MFL related from you.
From me, well, can I combine it with my message of hope? Then,
Go on, combine. Let's hear the message of
yes,
hope.
the message of hope. I
Message
heard
of
you've been
hope.
hyping it,
Feel like this should, sort of
but
like a cinematic part of a movie. Message of hope from our.
yeah, like everything in life, you have ups and downs, and I feel like the first half of 2025 was the boom, right?
Yeah.
And then the second part was a bit of a little bit of a slump, right? In terms of prices going down. Some people from that boom, it was like kind of a lot of elements coming together, making this into a slump. As like some people then left uh, after the boom because maybe they didn't like it, or whatever. So that was like less demand. We had quite some big drops still, and quite some people pulling reward packs, opening reward packs. So there was increased supply,
Mhm.
and we didn't see mass retirement yet. So that was also quite kind of not reducing the supply. So we had less demand, much bigger supply, prices dropping, kind of more negative sentiment because of that. because people just, I mean, to be realistic, you don't like to see the value of your agency drop. So that was a bit of a more, yeah. And then also that doesn't inspire growth, right? Also,
Mm.
if prices go up and there is a bit of a hype, it inspires growth. But now in 2026, what is my message of hope is that mass retirement is going to be here quite soon. If we look in the Diamond League, already some big names retiring who need to be replaced, and that will, like, in real life, when Arsenal buys a striker, like buys Gyökeres from Sporting, then Sporting has to find a striker from
Mm-hmm.
Netherlands who then go to Sweden, and then Sweden goes to, I don't know, somewhere else, and then you get all chain reactions. So we'll have that happening on a big scale with mass retirement,
Yeah.
which reduces the supply, which again, prices will go up a little bit. That will make it also more interesting for content, like, oh, price went up, sold these guys.
Yeah.
And there will be again a bit more positive sentiment in the first half of the year, I think. And that, if you couple that with the new marketing attempts that will surely take place, just more features being released, I think it will be the opposite and create kind of a positive loop or virtuous cycle, or how we call it, of things going the other way.
Yeah.
So that's my message of hope. Is I think we'll have the some more golden times, or the golden age of MFL is gonna. It's gonna.
Back in my day of playing MFL, there was the lead boom.
The golden age. Pepperidge Farm remembers. No, I think so. I think that's my analysis, how I see it right now.
Yeah.
Because we have this awkward slump, kind of this, kind of this desert, right? We're a bit stuck in there. We have to go through it with, and now we're gonna get in this year. We're gonna reach the sustainability point,
Mm.
and things will quiet down. So
Yeah, I mean, just to sort of expand on that a little bit, just I mean, I agree that sort of felt like the last couple of months in terms of growth has felt sort of just like quite stationary.
yes, yeah,
And if you look at sort of like the managers with clubs on MFL assistant across the sort of the last like 4 months, you could even push it to 5. It has been at sort of, it's been bouncing between 3,000, 3,200. There was some big spikes where I think, like, I don't know if there was some errors. I don't know, just errors where it went from like 3,000 to 3,900, then straight back down to 3,100. I think that's like trial club stuff going on. But yeah, I think that, and also to expand what you're saying, I think with the increase in supply we've got, and they made those changes to when they do pack drops, what percentages of each rarity is basically generated for pack drops. And those were changed and decreased, those percentages, into like season 3 and season 4. But because of the increased supply of players, because of the big boom we had, we actually haven't really seen those changes being reflective within the game, right? So as you were saying, so do we see? You were saying you these healthier market days and these bigger prices. The other side to it, I look at is sort of like the supply shock being the cause of that. Do we see now rares become rare, legendaries become legendarily rare? Off the back of these big retirements, because I think Alexis tweeted pre-season 10 saying, and added the numbers up, it's like 7 to 8,000 players will retire over the net, or 13,000, 10,000 players retire over the next couple seasons, and then it's season 13, 14, we're hitting minimums of 7,000 players a season or so retiring. Big amounts of players.
yeah,
And it will hurt some managers for sure. It will hurt some managers for sure.
yeah. Plus, yet another thing is that if we look at MFL like as a currency, now we have the kits and the logos. You have to pay for them, so that drains a bit of MFL, a bit of less liquidity, let's say. Then rapid play, people don't realize this, but if you add up what people pay to enter and then what is distributed, is that MFL takes some cut out of that, right?
Yeah.
So if you do loads of rapid
It's like
plays,
10 or 15%. Yeah.
yeah, if you do loads of rapid plays, you also, the house always wins, right? MFL also take some liquidity out of the MFL liquidity out of the ecosystem, which means less reward packs and less supply,
Mm.
which they also have as kind of a lever to play with. So if you combine all those things, then the market will start to change a lot, I
I
think.
I agree. I know.
In this year, and prices go up this year.
Yeah.
That's like a prediction.
More things to spend your MFL on, so it's not much is going into
Yeah, and
reward
then I
packs.
think also on top of that, what people really want aesthetics. They really want to have a stadium where they put some sponsors and some colors and some images and banners and whatever. People want more aesthetics, and people are waiting to pour all their MFL in that.
Mm.
So that's yet another thing they can do. More flavor, purely aesthetic things. Like look at Fortnite, right? People pay
Fortnite.
kids pay a ton of money. If I ask my students the amounts they pay just to look better in a game, right? It's crazy, and that
Yeah.
applies to us too. So
Right. So off the back of your message of hope, and you saying about rapid play, I've got a resolution I'd love to see specifically for rapid play, and people are probably going to get an amen, or like the Houses of Parliament when they all go when they all agree on what's being
here,
said.
here.
Yeah, when they all agree on what the speaker is saying. My resolution for MFL for this year is to pay out rapid plays instantly. Because it is, and I understand that right now it's the holiday time, but when they're called rapid play and you have to wait over 24 hours for your rewards to come so you can get involved in more rapid plays, don't feel that rapid.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's me being a bit joking, sarcastic there. But I would like to see the payout for rapid plays done quicker.
Hopefully they can fix that, or that you have even a button to cash out or something.
Yeah,
Or yeah, I hope the same.
that would
Because
be nice.
now you can see people running into issues, right? That maybe they won and they can join another rapid
Yeah,
play, because a lot of people have quite low balances because you want to maximize the amount of players you can open,
or some
and
people
then
like
keeping a balance left quite hard for people to
mm,
play rapid plays.
it's
So
it's like uh it's yeah. I joined one. I got paid out today. I think it was from yesterday evening, just under 24 hours. But I know a lot of people who love rapid plays because they earn more MFL through rapid plays than they do the rest of the season. So, and I got my kit pattern of the
and
Holiday
also
Heroes,
with the
which is
lucky
fun.
wheel, that was pretty instant. That was like a couple seconds
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
get MFL on your balance, so it should be possible.
But anyway, coming back to I would like to let's do the WenDirk ones actually now. So on YouTube, I'd like us to hit over 1,000 subscribers. We only stream on YouTube, so it might be a bit tough to do that, but hopefully we can get 1,000 subs on YouTube. We're currently at 462. On the Twitch side, we're still yet to hit 1,000. We're still yet to hit 1,000 followers on Twitch. I think we're 962 or 63. But off the back of my aggressive prediction for 10,000 unique club owners, I want us to hit 2,000 followers on Twitch. If you take the current amount of club owners and the amount of followers we have on Twitch, we could argue about a third of the MFL community follows us on Twitch. And that's the thing with obviously our growth statistics are very heavily correlated with MFL's growth. So if we see MFL sees crazy growth, the channel sees crazy
Yeah,
growth, and
exactly. I
vice
mean,
versa. So
it's one of the things people ask first. It's like, oh, are there any content?
yeah,
Is there any content? And
I,
then yeah, goes
I
there.
would like to say that we may not have the eyes. We may not bring in loads of the eyes MFL, but people who come into MFL, we like to give them a nice big hug and wrap them in and keep them entertained and having fun during their time playing the game. And then finally, I want us to get another 700 followers on Twitter, sorry, so we can hit 2,000 on Twitter. I think we can do them. And then a personal resolution. I want to own a 90 plus rated player this year. Not maybe through packs, a bit different. Pack a Lego could be in there. Do you know what? SR Monkey style, pack a Lego. I'm going to take inspiration from
Content creator luck.
pack a Lego, and then maybe I can own my 90 plus rated player at the same time as well. Pack a Lego. Pack a Lego. I'm gonna pack a Lego this year, guys. And it cannot be a legendary pack, which I might have as a prediction to make
Maybe
a
I
return,
have a
but
good resolution for you.
go on then.
Redemption as England manager.
Mm.
That should be on your list. That should be definitely on the list.
Mm.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe.
I think I need to warm up into it, I think. Rumor has it I might be throwing myself in the mix to manage a big team in a couple of seasons' time. I'll leave it at that. Depends how I feel with season 11. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave the superstition. I'll leave the superstition at that.
Yeah.
Let's quickly get one off our community. We had a couple more in here. Swabib, first season with 7 clubs, so just hoping to get things organised. A bit like you with your condensing. Swabib just wants to get things organised.
Actually, he sent me a message today.
Did he?
Because he's from Belgium, so
oh, nice.
we speak Dutch with each other.
Yeah.
So he was kind of doing the same. He tries to do the same. Yeah, a bit more quality.
Yeah.
Over quantity.
And then Risu, big fan of the pod. Thank you for your contribution here. He says his MFL prediction: there'll be another boom. Everyone's suspecting another boom. A WenDirkCast prediction. He wants the group that create the duck race to sponsor the streams.
And Blue Cat also. They should
yeah. And then his personal MFL resolution is to have a solid look at tactics, match plans, etc., and become a better MFL coach.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, love that from you, Risu. And on topic of being a better MFL coach, one of my resolutions is to continue hating on the 5 at the back, to never use that formation ever again. But to give it a little spin, I want to maybe be a bit more diverse with the formations I run. At the moment, I'm very 3 at the back heavy, and my agency is obviously built kind of around that, but also some of the 4 at the backs that are relatively similar to 3-5-2-B because they run a cam, CDM, double striker, left mid, right mid sort of thing. So your 4-1-2-1-2s, your 4-2-3-1s. If you play both cams, 4-2-2-2, 4-4-2-B, those sort of formations. Obviously, because I don't have wingers, I don't play 4-3-3. And I feel like maybe a bit late to the party, maybe the 4-3-3 attacking meta of well, I say meta, it just because it dominates my 3-5-2-B, so I absolutely hate it as a formation. I maybe want to diverse a bit more and continue hating on 5 at the back and never use it, but maybe branching out to 4-3-3. I don't know if I've got the guts, though. I don't know if I've got the guts to do it. I have to do an agency reshift.
Stick to one formation per team, but have different formations. Or within the same team, be able to play those different.
I think the reason I have 3-5-2-B across is because I like the formation, and I think the B genuinely stands for best formation in the game when it comes to 3-5-2-B. Or it could stand for 3-5-2 best formation in the game, but keeps Jimbo in bronze for the rest of his life. I like it because I like the formation, but also my mindset is so used to building clubs around that. So I never look at left and right wingers. I never look at centre mids because I don't have to. And therefore, my agency's not built around it. Maybe I'd like to shift that outlook a bit, be a bit more diverse.
From a sustainability point of view, it would be good to have multiple formations in different club, so you cover all positions, so all pools kind of make sense, and you can place them somewhere.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, that could be.
It's just because. I mean, 3-4-3 is probably the formation which, if I was to go 4-3-3, would be the 3 at the back formation. I can link with it because you've got your centre mids and your left and right wing. It combines your centre backs with the 3-5-2 plus your left mid, right mid. So there could be something to do there. And then one of them is flat, and one of them does have the diamond with the cam, the CDM. So I could go down that route. Maybe, So my resolution will be, sorry, I beat around the bush here a bit. My resolution is to not focus on 3-5-2-B as much and continue to hate against 5 at the back.
Fair enough. I just thought of another resolution for myself.
Go on then.
Is to never buy a player anymore below 70 pace. Not anymore. Not below 70 pace. That's all I wanted to say. I want all, and physical, 70 physical also. I want them all to be fast and strong. Basics.
Oh yeah, because obviously you're
And
condensing your
also,
agency.
I will
Yeah.
never ever buy a 76, like a normal rare reward. I only buy the 37k lower rare reward packs. I feel like I get way better pulls, and when I buy the standard one, I never get high 80s. So I better stick it, and you get less disappointment. Plus, you save 10k, and you still can get a lot of young guys who progress into that category anyway. So my setup usually is lower rare reward from now on, and maybe sometimes a Lego to have a direct impact on squads.
Prediction for you, Calva. In 2026, does Gerard Dempsey see any individual stat increases?
You would say it must be. You can't just be a +1 with like one stat increase at one point. But it's so crazy. How can he not progress? But it's like I tweeted this out before. It feels like he is the one just sacrificing all his progression for other people. Like I at the same time I bought 2 other guys. I bought a goalie from Snake actually, 82 goalie, who's now 90 in like 3 seasons.
Yeah.
+8, and he's still 24. I got this Angulo guy, same, like around the same price. That's like 400 for like a young striker. He went to 88 now. So it's like he's the exception that confirms the rule that I have proper policy of buying those kind of guys. And Dempsey is just the one that gets stuck. And he's like the exception that confirms the rule that and he sacrificed himself for others. Apparently.
No sacrifice, no victory, to plug another Transformers quote into the pod.
But it's a bit like, Memento Mori, right?
No.
No? Okay, a little history lesson. Like, that's after the plague, remember that you are mortal. Remember that you have a short time on Earth, and you have to remember you can die any moment.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like Memento Dempsey. It's like, remember, you can just have progression +1.
Well,
Keep it in the back of your mind,
For what it's worth, Calva, we have the trust the process rule for diamond minimum requirements for each division. Whenever someone has like really stinky progression, a lot of us do just say, "Oh, he's done a Dempsey."
Yeah.
So his progression chart will always be ingrained in the lore of MFL, well, particularly the WenDirk community, because of how pants it was. And I still need to clip your YouTube video saying, I think this is a good buy. I think it's going to progress to at least an 80, whatever you said, and then just clip it in, and 7 months later, and it's like, it's like, so can you pinpoint where Calvo bought it? There.
So I already have a hashtag proposal now. It will be Memento Dempsey. Remember Dempsey. Remember. Sometimes you just have a +1 in your whole career, and you can get the short end, the really short end of the progression stick.
So we're saying our hashtag is we'll keep it with hashtag Remember Dempsey for ease of it. But you're saying hashtag Remember Dempsey because if you're ever having good progression or bad progression, always remember Dempsey.
Yeah.
Always remember.
You can have a Dempsey. You can.
Yeah. Can always be humbled.
+1 is the minimum. There can just be a +1.
Yeah, there can just be a +1.
It can be. Yeah.
Folks, post that hashtag on Discord, on X, on socials, and we'll repost them as a thank you. Calva, any more resolutions or predictions from yourself?
Ooh.
In what
Tough.
quarter does club delegation happen in?
Q2.
Q2 club
I think
delegation.
Q2 is gonna be the big one. It's gonna be the World Cup. Um, it's gonna be when the mass retirement hits, when we have more features, when the whole marketing plan is rolled out. I say Q2 will be
Because
the big one.
Matt said on the Ramble for their 1 year anniversary that he expects the redesigned website to be sort of end of Q1 at earliest, I think, was what he was
So that
saying.
can also coincide with that. So
Right, I've got another prediction for you, Calva.
Q2 it is. Okay.
Another prediction. What quarter will we see preset? Let's go preset substitutions come into the game because I think that's going to become a thing. So let's just throw that out there.
I would say more later, more like if it happens, more like Q3, Q4. Let's say Q3 then. Kind of the project after the summer.
And then, do we see stadiums being introduced in whatever format? I don't care if it's an NFT, if it's just a cosmetic, consumable, or whatever. Do we see stadiums? I want to say, do we see stadiums in the year? I'll say, do we see stadiums in 2026?
Yes, must be. Must be. I mean, you already have a green pitch with like guys running around it. How hard is it to expand that a little bit with some stands with some boarding and dots in the color bouncing around of your team? Should be possible. Flavor.
Flavor alarm. Ooh,
Flavor
ooh.
alarm.
Flavor alarm. Any other bold predictions?
No, I think I've said most things I was planning to say. So, and and we say we're nearing the end of the Calva limit. I see in time wise. So it coincides well. Plus, Calva Junior is gonna get milk soon. So
I have one fun.
It's good.
I have
Good
one
time.
prediction for you,
Okay, let's
Calva.
go. Some more prediction.
Will Calva come back to the WenDirkCast in 2026?
I have to answer that. Well, it's very hard to predict because I
Of course it
literally
is.
don't know what I can expect.
Will we see you on a pack drop stream in 2026?
Well, that must be a yes.
What about next Wednesday?
That will be too soon.
No, I thought that'd be the answer.
But I would say to the whole question, like I guess more regular contributions here and there should be possible in the pipeline.
On the cards. There we go.
So more like this, like sometimes showing up.
We have got to remember that your little one
again and then reappearing 2 months later.
You know, your baby is only like less than 2 months old as well.
Yes.
You know, very very
Tomorrow,
very
2
young
months,
still.
by the way.
Oh,
When
congratulations!
Months,
Lovely,
so,
lovely,
yeah.
lovely. There we go. So we should see more Calva, and we're going to see him on a pack drop stream sometime this year, folks. But before all that happens, he's going to take charge of WenDirk MFC in the Spark division in season 11 and get us into the trusty Ice division, from which one of you jolly folk will be taking charge of that team and hopefully not relegating us. So, hope you've enjoyed this episode, everyone. Please let us know on our Discord, on our YouTube channel in the comment section, what are your predictions for MFL coming into 2026? Well, now that we're in 2026. And what are your resolutions? What are you trying to achieve in 2026? Whether it's for your clubs, your agency, trophies, you know, are you going to condense your agency like Calva is? Are you trying to rip a Lego in a pack like I am? Do you have bold predictions at MFL with regards to the World Cup? Please, please, please let us know. Remember, hashtag remember Dempsey. We cannot ever forget Dempsey. We must always remember
Dempsey.
Dempsey.
Yeah.
So before we officially close up, Calva, it's been a joy to have you back in the studio with me today. I look forward.
Yes,
Go on.
that was great. Great to be back. Great to ramble about
Mm,
MFL and
yeah.
some good convos. And I'm curious about the reception. If people agree with us, disagree,
Mm.
may it spark many discussions.
May it spark many discussions. Your message of hope, may it hit and resonate with our community, our wonderful WenDirk community. And maybe, oh, sorry, this is a side bit. Maybe this time next week there might be a different background for Jimbo,
Ooh,
or it will definitely be for match day 1 of season 11. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun
great,
for season 11. You're gonna see a bit more of a studio look, and hopefully that means bigger and better things for MFL content and WenDirk in general with what we can do, and what we can offer our great community. So I'm very much looking forward
great,
to that.
awesome.
So without further ado, thank you all so very much for listening, and we'll catch you this time next week episode of the WenDirkCast. Thank you for listening. Bosh.